Welcome back. In today's video, I will be conducting a basic penetration testing for beginner. In this video, you're going to see how a penetration test will look like from a real-life perspective. For this video, guys, I'm going to be using one of the machines on tryhackme. You can find it on tryhackme, basically. So you see here, the name of the machine is Blue. And this machine is created to demonstrate one of the most dangerous vulnerabilities called EternalBlue. So basically, if you solve this machine, you're gonna learn how to find out and exploit this vulnerability, EternalBlue, right? But my objective for this video is not to solve the machine, not to show you how to solve the questions. You can do that on your own. There are many walkthroughs on the internet. In this video, we're going to demonstrate what is this vulnerability and how manually we can exploit that, okay? All right, so let me first grab the IP address. And after that, go to terminal and scan the machine. Now, the first thing we do for every subject machine, we first do the scanning phase. So for that purpose, the most common used tool is Nmap. So here, Nmap, I'm gonna select PN. I don't want to send ping requests. It's gonna be fine for me to find out the open ports and the services. I'm gonna define the targets, and of course sudo, because I am not root on the system. I'm gonna hit enter and Kelly, put my password for Kelly rolling system, and Nmap scanning is running now. Now while the Nmap is scanning the system, let's see what is EternalBlue. So it has finished. All right. So basically, guys, we have many open ports, as you can see from the results. We have RDP protocol. We have 445, open 139, and 135. But how to know which one of them is vulnerable? So basically, we're gonna opt for the same scan, but this time I'm gonna use the switch A, and yes, hit enter. So here we see more details about the targets. On the left side, it is my VPN connection to the machine, as you can see, and it is regularly in real time. It is updating the connection as I am doing Nmap scan in real time. Okay, while the scan is in progress, let's demonstrate what is EternalBlue. So basically, this is a Microsoft security bulletin about EternalBlue. And as you can see, we can see the impacts. What are the OS that are impacted by this vulnerability? So first, we see the executive summary about this vulnerability, and it's very important as a penetration tester to understand the vulnerability before trying to exploit it. As you can see, this vulnerability affects server message block protocol, all right, the SMP version 1, and it allows the attacker to send, as you can see, specially crafted code to to gain remote access to the system. Let's go down and see what are the affected systems of this. So as you can see, we have Windows Vista, Windows Server 2008, Windows 7, Windows Server 2008, Windows 8.1, Server 2012, Windows RT, Windows 10. Some versions of Windows 10 are vulnerable to this vulnerability. Actually, they are subject to this vulnerability and any kind of exploitation that follows up. So keep your system up to date all the time, even if it is Windows 10. Windows Server 2016, and yes, that's it. So make sure you update your systems regularly. Okay, let's go back now to the Nmap scan. And we see here it has not been finished yet. Technically, it may take some time since we selected the -A, which is the aggressive scan, which is supposed to display all of the all of the details about every running service on the system. So we expect this to take some time. we may launch another nmap scan, but I'm afraid that we're going to crash the connection on the left side. I don't want to crash it. In the meantime, we're going to try, let's go to Firefox. No, not Firefox. Okay, this is the hack the box. No, not hack the box. Okay, let's now open another terminal. And in here, I'm going to make that a bit wide. I'm going to make this a bit narrower. Yep, okay. All right, now I'm gonna launch here a new nmap scan, but I'm not gonna make it aggressive. I'm gonna use nmap scripting engine. Well, let's go first to the nmap scripting engine first. Let's go to the available scripts. We go to user, share, nmap scripts. No such file or directory. Okay, it is user, not root. Okay, okay. So here you see the available scripts for nmap. We can use these scripts, guys, to banner grab, to grab banners, sorry, to grab banners about every service running here. So let's clear and define what is our target here. So basically, I have remote desktop, and I have DNS and NetBIOS and port 135 on this service. So let's now here try to see what are the available scripts that we can use for the NetBIOS. So on the left, I can see that the machine is restarting several times, maybe due to the nmap scan. That's why our scan is being kind of slow. Okay, so on the left, let's list the current available scripts for the SMB. Grep SMB. Okay. So basically, we get all the available scripts over here. Now, what we need to do here, actually, right now, we need to wait for that to finish, but let's use nmap scripting engine now and select OS discovery. We have print text. All right. So here, guys, I can select, let me go back. I think none of these would work on our targets. Let's LSLA and grep NetBIOS. So we have one, but broadcast NetBIOS master browser, this one also not expected to work on the target. Okay, so in general, let me go back and use script and see, basically, we're gonna select switch vulnerability to search for the current vulnerabilities on the running services in general, and take the IP. Oh, copy the space. Okay, so here we have the IP, and let's switch for VB, and let's see. So now here in this scan, guys, we are using nmap scripting engine to find possible vulnerabilities on the running services, all right? By grabbing banners from each service. When we grab the banners, we get from the response of the server, or from the response of the service, we get much info about the running service, the version, what are the available exploits that match the version, etc. So here I have some errors, I can say, firewall bypass. It must have to do with the privilege, I think, yes. So now we have run privilege scan. If you are a regular user on your system, make sure to run sudo every time you run such kind of tools in map. Okay. So here we get the same results we have got from the previous scan. Right now, the Nmap scripting engine is doing the scanning. Okay, guys, I'm gonna pause this video now till the scan finishes, and I will get back to you. All right, guys, I'm back, and the scan has finished. The scan on the right side, of course, the scan has not finished yet. And let's go down and see what we got. So basically, here we have the open ports. Make note of the open ports all the time when you do Nmap scanning for your client. Let's go down and see what we got for every service. So here, as you can see, the script execution failed on these services. But if we go down and scroll down, and we can see here that we have the server message block running, right? And down, we see that the Nmap is saying that there is a vulnerability, right, on this service or this protocol, basically. So remote code execution vulnerability in Microsoft SMB1 servers, right, which is vulnerable. Now, finding about the vulnerable protocols or services about your target using Nmap scripting engine is one option you can select all the time, which is one thing you can do, right? You can use Nmap scripting engine. And of course, from a real case scenario, don't run this scan immediately, right? First, try to find what are the open ports and running services, and then try to find out about the version of each service, right? Do you elevate your aggressiveness on your scan gradually? Because sometimes in real scenarios, there might be firewall that would thwart your scanning attempts, and you're screwed, right? You need to change your IP, and you're going to go through all of the obstacles and hustle this kind of stuff. You don't need to do that. Just do your scan gradually, right? Start with simple scan, see what are the running ports, the running services, and then try to escalate a bit if there is no problem with the previous scan. And if you don't get much info, then go use Nmap scripting engine to find and grab banners, right? Because some services or some firewalls do not allow banners or do not allow the response for halfway handshakes. TCP handshake works like this. So on the left here, the scanning has finished for the aggressive scan. As you can see, we have the available services and the open ports. And if you scroll down, we see the remote desktop, and it's saying that there is a firewall in place. And here we have the host script results saying that we have SMP protocol, and it's on version 2.10, right? So let's forget about the scan on the right and stick to this scan on the left. So we scanned for the open ports and the services. Next, we elevated our scan to be a bit more aggressive, right? To get more info about the services. And here we see that we got some more info, right, about the running services, but not much. So here I don't have the complete banners that have been grabbed, right? But way down, we see that the host script results. Now here I didn't use the scripting engine just because I used the aggressive switch. I got this guy over here, right? So here I have SMB version 2.10, and after that, you can run the scripting engine. Okay, let's go down a bit, down. All right, so here your scan has finished. Now your next step is to find vulnerabilities, right? Now, since we don't have much info about the version numbers of each one, we need to run the Nmap scripting engine, right? Here we run a general check on the possibility of vulnerabilities being exist on the the services running. Now my next step here, as you can see, we have one vulnerability on the SMP, as you can see, protocol. And we have some references about this, the date and the CVE number, as you can see. Now all we have to do here is to open a new terminal, or let's split that into new one. Let's use this one. Okay, so here we're going to use search exploit, and we're going to search for MS. Let's take that and see what all the available exploits that we can take directly. I know we can use Metasploit, guys, but let's just change a bit. So here we got these exploits. No shell codes, no results. Let's grab them, copy the link, and go. So Microsoft Windows SMP Remote Code Execution Scanner. So let's go over the script here. And as you can see, it is Metasploit script. So this script does exist among the Metasploit modules. Since I don't want to use Metasploit in this video, let's go back and see the next one. During your real penetration testing scenarios, you can use Metasploit, of course. It is one of your great penetration testing tools you can use. Microsoft Server Windows, Microsoft Windows Server 2008 R2. This is a Windows Server. My system here is not Windows Server, although we didn't run OS detection, but I am sure it is not Windows Server. We can rerun the scan to find the system running. Let's go back to the scan and define switch O to find the operating system running on the targets. Okay, let's go back now. Say this exploit. So technically, go over all the exploits, right? Until you find one of them suitable. But the best way or the fastest way to achieve that, now since we got a reference about the exploit, right, or the available, the reference about the vulnerability, we can copy the selection and go to Google, and here exploit. So we have one from Metasploit. Great, let's go down. And we have something on GitHub. Now before that, let's go up and get more info about the vulnerability, right? So what is that? So here, if we click on the first Google result, we see some more info about this vulnerability that I have shown you before, right? Okay, now since we have gone over this, let's go back. We went over that. Now let's put here exploit. So we have this one. So this one, Microsoft Windows 7, 8.1, 2008, and here are the systems affected with that. EternalBlue SMP remote code execution. Let's go over the script here. So this is Python script from the shebang. And let's go over that and see here we got some, username, password. All right. And here's some info about the exploit. And down there we see the construction of the exploit that is sent to the target. Go down, go down, go down. Okay. So it all starts here. So we need to provide the IP, right? To system arg. If len sys.arg less than 2, right? So we need to provide like 1 or 2 system arguments, IP, pipe name. We can try that, of course. Let's download this. Click on save. All right, so kind of stuck in my machine. Okay, so where's the exploit now? Okay, now let's go down. All right, so here the the OS system scan has finished, and here we got some estimation it's running. So there is no accurate estimation about the OS running on the machine. I can see here some, I can't understand it. It's saying Linux. There is no accurate estimation about the OS running, but since we got the vulnerability on the system, it means that this OS, the OS running on the system is Windows, right? Okay. Let's go now to the exploit we have downloaded, right? Downloads, clear. Okay, let's give it permissions. And now let's run the script and provide the IP of the target, which is the IP is this one. Okay. Run. So here we have some errors. No module named mysmp. Let's import that. Okay, let's try Python 2 then. We need to download in packets. Let's download this module. In the meanwhile, let's not waste our time and see other available exploits for that. So the name is EternalBlue, right? EternalBlue exploit. GitHub. So what do we have here? There. So I have a couple of tools here. Let's see this one. No. 11 past, EternalBlue double pulsar, Metasploit. No, I don't want Metasploit now. So we need to search actually to find something. If you don't have Metasploit in your word, that's what you're going to end up with. Okay, let's now put something like eternal auto. Let's see that. Let's go back first to see what happened. Okay, the model has been installed. Let's try running this. Let's try run the script now. Also mysmp. Could you find a version that satisfies the requirements? Okay. mysmp. All right, so what I'm gonna do now, I'm thinking of, but why I don't have pip3 for a reason that I don't know. So sudo so here I installed pip3 in order to use Python 3 and install the required modules. Let's go back to see the exploit, the other exploit we have. So this is MS17010 exploit code. And this one, run Python EternalBlue checker. So here it checks on the target if it is vulnerable or not. The usage shellcode. So it seems that we have to specify if it is vulnerable, it does some kind of, it makes shellcode and sends it to the target. We have to set up listener. We may try this actually. Let's take that. And in another terminal like this one, let's put cd from sudo clone. Okay, let's go back now. Sudo restore my SMP. Okay, now what happened? This is what we have. Auto blue. Let's go to the Exploit directory. Okay, so we have here many files. Let's go back to the documentation of the tool and see what we got. So here we run Python EternalBlue checker and the target. So do we have this file? Okay, we have this one. Let's see the current permissions. So EternalBlue checker. Okay, so we need to give it some permissions to run. All right, let's run the tool now. And specify the IP of the target, which is this. Paste. Okay, Python 2. Errors. Okay, guys, I'm back. And let's now run the tool again. I fixed some Python errors I have. And let's run the tool, see if the target is vulnerable. So if we enter, we see the output of the script eternal checker that the target is not bashed. And the target OS is Windows 7 Professional Service Pack 1. So this tool is telling me that the target is vulnerable really to the EternalBlue, right? But you know, guys, we have this information here. So since we run the scan and we got all the details, we know that the target is vulnerable to the EternalBlue, right? That's why we have downloaded this tool. Now the next thing, let's try now and exploit that, right? Let's go back to the tool and see the instructions. So here it's saying navigate to the shellcode directory, run the shellcode maker. Here we have some prompts. And then we have to run a listener, fill out the options, and after that we have Python EternalBlue exploit 7 target IP path to shellcode number of groom connections. Okay, let's go to shellcode now. cd shellcode player. So we have here shell prep.sh. Now what do we need to run is to run the tool, actually this one, right? Okay, let's give it permissions first. Oh, I always forget the sudo. All right, now let's run the tool. Enable to open file sc kernel.bin. Okay, why? Let's go back. So where is this file? Let's check the permissions of this file. So the file is, let's go down. Okay. Go to shellcode again, run the enable to open output file. So it seems that we have permission problem. Okay. Let's go to the exploit page and see the output of this file, where it's supposed to be landed. Okay. After the script finishes, there will be a shellcode binary named in the shellcode directory. So it's saying unable to create the file. It means that we need to give it some permissions, more permissions, I guess. So read, write, execute. You see the permissions of this. Okay. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna change the owner of the directory. Okay, okay. Now let's go to shellcode and try to run the tool again. Sudo shell. Okay, now it's asking for the options. Kernel shellcode compile. Would you like to auto-generate a reverse shell with MSF Venom? Let's see here. Okay, so it will click yes. Okay, click yes. Fair enough. Allows for the reverse connection. Now we need to put the IP address which will receive the connection from the testing machine or the victim, which is, our IP, right? 192. Let's make sure. If config. So here, let's go up. Our IP is 192, so it ends with 133. Okay, let's go down. 192.168.94. L port, you want x64 to listen on. So here I should put 0, right? Because I'm not 64. Some port, some other port. Okay, so two different ports. So for x64, we're going to choose 980. For x86, we're going to choose 981, something we can memorize. Type 0 to generate a metaperator shell or 1 to generate a regular CMD shell. We're going to opt for a regular CMD shell. Type 0 to generate a staged payload or to generate a stageless payload. So my preference is to use a staged payload. Let's go back if there is a serial recommendation about this. Okay, there is no some recommendation from the owners, so I'm going to opt for staged one. So now it's MSF Venom. So here's the command that is generating the shellcode and the output. This is the output. This is the shellcode file or the output. Okay, so it has finished generating shellcode for x86 x64 architecture, and here is the shellcode for x86 architectures. So basically, this is our file now, or this is the shellcode that will be sent to the target here, right? Let's go back, see what are the next steps. Then we need to run the listener, right? Since the exploit will send the shellcode to the target, right? Overflowing the target, and then it's going to establish connection back to our machine. So we need some listener running. Oh, not here. Okay. So let's go back and set up a listener. You can set up your own listener, by the way, but I'm going to use the listener of the exploit. Make sure everything is running smoothly. Give it some permissions. Listener. I don't learn from my mistakes. Okay. Then we're going to run the listener. So, okay, listener. Allows for reverse connection, 192.168, our IP, right? Which is 133. L port for x64, which was like 981, right? I need to go back. I have bad memory. Go up. So 980. 91, enter 0 for metaperator or 1 for CMD shell, type 0 if it is staged or 1 if it's stageless payload. Staged, right? So now this permission denied. Okay, so what happened? I don't think the listener has been created successfully. Let's go back. Starting listener. So we have some permissions stuff here. And let's go back to the starting persistent handler jobs exit. Okay, let's change the owner of the script. And let's run that again. 192.168. One, zero. Oh, again, we have permission denied problem. Okay, exit sudo. Okay, now I'm root. Okay, cd AutoBlue. Now we're gonna run the listener again without any permissions. Shit. Not 168.94. I think because I am using ports below 1024, that's why. The IP is this one, the port for x64, x86, regular shell, state. Okay, so now our listener is working without any problem, I guess. All right, so now the listener is running. Let's go back and see how we can trigger the exploit. Now this is the code, or this is the command line. Okay, Python, EternalBlue, exploit 7, the target IP, and the path to the shellcode. Okay, easy. Let's go back. Let's use this directory, or let me use, look, let's clear that and have this up. Split it. Or what do you think? Okay, let me use that one. So here, let's go back, sudo Okay, now let's go to the shellcode directory. Or no, before, sorry. So this is our tool, ends with 7. Let's go back. So this one, let's give it permissions. Okay, so the permissions for this, eternal, the name, exploit 7. All right, now let's run that. Python. Then we give the IP address and the path to the shellcode. I'm not sure what is this number of groom connections, but anyway, the IP is, we grab it from the box. Oh, okay. So it's not pasting for some reason. Okay, let's grab it 1010, 199. and 60. Now the path to the shellcode, right? The path is, let's write the complete path to avoid any mistakes. And then we have shellcode. Um, let's grab this terminal, clear. You want to see the file name, right? The file name is, well, we have too many. Let's go back and see the formula of this file or the shellcode. So it's something like, let's go up, down, no. So it is something like sc all. Okay. This one. So this is our file. Okay. So here on the left hand, we type sc all pin, right? And we hit enter. Let's go to our listener now and monitor the incoming connections. See if we get some kind of listener over here. Again, I'm gonna pause the video, guys, till the exploit finishes sending the packets, the evil packets, right? And then I will get back to you once the exploit finishes and we will see the session we have got. All right, I'm back. So basically, I've tried the exploit multiple times, but since I have connection instability, as you can see, I ran multiple times. It said we have a problem in the connection. And last time I tried it, as you can see, the exploit execution has been successful, but I haven't received any session over here due to the connection instabilities. I went back to the machine and it was deployed, all is fine, but um, I think there is some instabilities in the connection from my side or from the machine side. But go ahead, uh, try the exploit, all right, and execute that. And if you get a shell, then I think it's the connection instabilities from my side, I think, emerged from my side. But anyway, you get the process. That's how the process goes, actually. It is a very beginner penetration testing we did today. And yep, once you get the connection back, you're going to see here the prompt for Windows, the command line, and you're in. So that's it. Thank you so much.